Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more. The Man That Can Project podcast, a podcast empowering career-driven men to live more fulfilling lives. We are here to challenge your beliefs, redefine success, and talk about the important stuff in a relatable way. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. My name's Lachlan Stuart. Let's get into it. Welcome back, lads. It is Friday morning. I hope it has been a absolute ripper week for you, extremely productive, moving towards the life that you want to create for yourself, and you've had a few wins. Now, I'm currently 1/3 of the way through the David Goggins challenge. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of what the challenge is, it is a 48-hour challenge, and every 4 hours, for 48 hours, you run 4 miles. Now, that is 6.4 kilometers, and wow, it is wild. And we're personally running it at the top of every hour. So we started yesterday at 4 p.m. and we went 4 p.m., 8 p.m., midnight, 4 a.m., which is leading me to now. And then my next run's at 8, 12, 4, and right the way through for 12 rounds. So it's up to 76 kilometers, I think, roughly, which will be awesome. Feeling that, but the sleep. So I'm going to talk about that. But before I do, I received an email for those who are subscribed to James Clear's emails. They're incredible. And he has the 3 ideas from me. And there's 2 that really stood out to me that I wanted to share with you today, just quickly, before we talk about the Goggins challenge. The first one: when you need to learn quickly, learn from others. When you need to learn deeply, learn from experience. I read that and I was like, wow, beautiful, really good. So find people you want to learn from, but also making sure you're taking action on things so that you can learn what you need to learn to, more deeply to gain the results that you want. The second one is this, and this is a powerful one. If 2 people have the same goal, you know nothing about the similarity of their results. But if 2 people have the same daily habits, you can infer quite a bit about the similarity of their results. Your results are largely a byproduct of your habits. Boom. So it's definitely why it's important to think about what you're doing daily and whether it's the best use of your time or they're the things that you need to be doing in order to create the life that you want. Okay. Now, Goggins challenge, let's talk about it. So I just rolled in before, and my wife Amy is already off to the airport again, but I woke up, my mother-in-law was there, and she's like, why do you keep doing these challenges to yourself? Like, it's crazy. Look how much you're hurting and everything like that. And I was like, that's a valid question, one that I am currently asking myself right now as I feel very sleep deprived. And the honest truth is I love challenging myself. I feel, I don't think I'm as hardcore as Goggins, as I draw a line somewhere. But for me, what I've already started to take away from this is how incredible my life is. Like the fact that I have a warm bed and I get to sleep 6+ hours a night without it being a broken sleep is something that I have taken for granted. Now that I'm being woken up every 2 hours, I'm only getting 2-hour blocks of sleep. I would kill for a full night's sleep. So I feel like there is so much value in challenging yourself, and whether it's physical, it's mental, we should always be pushing the boundary to challenge what we think we're capable of. A couple of the people that are doing this challenge with me, we're having great conversations on this run each time we go out, and everyone's really impressed with what their mind is capable of and how much we can limit ourselves. And I feel often that limitation comes from not always belief, but more so the fact that we just don't put ourselves in a situation to be challenged. We don't put ourselves in a situation to show ourselves what we're capable of. I want you to think about the last time you put yourself in a challenging situation where you had to sort of show yourself what you're capable of. If you grew up playing sports, until probably you stopped, it was always competition, right? You wanted to win, whether it was a team sport, an individual sport like track and field or rugby or hockey, whatever it was. But eventually when you stop playing the sport, where does the competition come in your life? And I feel like if you're not trying to be the best, or if you're not trying to win, you're really not trying to grow. And I feel from a physical standpoint, a physical challenge standpoint, pushing yourself, you'll teach yourself a lot about who you are, your character, your ability to persevere. And you can take that, right, that experience, and going back to that quote, when you need to learn deeply, learn from experience. If you put yourself in situations like the Goggins challenge, for example, I'm proving to myself that I have the resilience, I have the ability to persevere when times get tough. I also am proving to myself that, obviously not on a long-term basis, but a short-term basis, I don't need as much sleep as I thought I did in order to perform well. Okay, obviously on a long-term basis, that's not the case, but I'm proving to myself every time I do a challenge like this that I'm capable of so much more. Don't get me wrong, this challenge, I didn't really know what to expect. I went into it going, okay, well, I've been doing a lot of miles on my legs. The distance itself doesn't worry me too much, but missing sleep has always been something that I've feared. And now that I'm obviously going through it, it's hit me a lot faster than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe tonight that I'd feel the the tenacity of not sleeping, but it's got me. And after this, we're on our weekly call shortly with our academy members. So that's going to be fun. It means I can't sleep during this block. I have to stay up and we do that call, and then I'll get ready for the next run. And then the block after that, I have a radio interview and a few other things. So I'm missing out on another 2 opportunities to sleep before I can have the opportunity to lay back down again. So I'm thinking about, okay, how can I best use this time, even though the thing that's on the front of my mind is to sleep. So a few things I'd love you to take away and start thinking about or considering in your life. When was the last time you sought out a challenge? Not because it showed up, but you sought one out. When you seek out challenges, you're preparing yourself for when a challenge does appear in your life. The more you practice anything, let's use an example of if you're learning the guitar. If you play it daily, you're going to be better than someone who never picks up the guitar at all. Okay? And the repetition, the mistakes you make, the more deeply you learn it. Okay, obviously you can learn from others, but the more you spend, for example, I have a guitar teacher at the moment, and I know I'm definitely rambling, my brain is very tired, but I have a guitar teacher. He's teaching me chords, all of these things, but it's the time that I'm spending investing in learning to play myself where I'm learning most, which is one of the beautiful things about that. So a few things I would love you to do. Challenge yourself to seek out a challenge. Challenge yourself to seek out a challenge. Learn from those challenges and seek them out regularly. And when I mean regularly, it might be yearly. For me personally, I try to do one every quarter to 6 months where, it makes me feel uncomfortable, but it puts a lot of things into perspective. So it helps me appreciate what I've got, the whole experience does, but it also helps me prove to myself that I am capable of so much more. And I use that, right? I use that in business. I use that in my life, in so many other areas. And if you struggle with confidence, if you struggle with resilience, if you struggle to believe you're worthy, doing things like this is a great way to have those wins. We've got 6 people doing it with us, and I guarantee you when we finish tomorrow at lunchtime, we're all going to be a whole heap closer as a group, but everyone's going to be feeling so much more confident and comfortable in themselves and their ability moving forward. And I guarantee you they will seek out more challenges because they've now just proven to themselves that they're so much more capable of how they were living 48 hours earlier. And I would love that for you, especially if you're a man who's wanting to improve your quality of life in some way, shape, or form. You need to seek this out. It has to be sought out. So going back to why I even started this podcast, why am I doing these challenges? There's no real definitive answer apart from I just want to get uncomfortable. And the Goggins challenge was one that I saw online, and I was like, cool, I don't have to organize it like I have the last couple. It looks challenging. If Goggins thinks it's challenging, it probably will be. So let's get involved in that. And I feel, I talk a lot about making sure you have intention behind things. I have intention to be challenged, to learn from that. But in regards to why this specific one and why I'm doing it, it's more so just the fact that I want to do that. I want to do cool shit with cool people, as Lukey Johnson said on the call last week. And that's what we're doing. So short and sharp, to the point. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned for Monday's episode. It's going to be a bloody ripper, as always. And I hope you caught Monday's episode this week with George Harris, who's been a member of our academy, did our breakthrough experience, his story and where he's been at. So thank you for tuning. Like, share, subscribe. My name's Lachlan Stuart. Have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.